Hi there, Rob Sinclair here. I'd like to share a quick little bit of insight with you. If you're looking at the Pampered Chef business opportunity or this company in general, maybe considering starting a business from home, I want you to think about a couple of things. Now, the Pampered Chef is a great company. It's owned by Warren Buffett. It's very reputable, and in fact, my mom works with Pampered Chef, so I know it's a great company. They have great products. If you're looking at it from a business standpoint, I want you to consider your end goals. And if your end goals are to create a passive income, to create residual income that could eventually set you free in terms of your time and your finances, you may want to consider a couple of things. Now, the Pampered Chef is essentially a sales company because people are buying tools. People are buying things that they will use multiple times for a long period of time after purchasing it once. And where do you get paid? Do you get paid every time they use it? No, you get paid when they make the sale. You get paid that one time. So it can be a great source of additional income, but you're also doing the work. So that's why we say it's kind of a sales business. It's almost like having another little job. You'll get paid if you're running a party or if you have someone in your team running a party, right? So that's not really the most powerful leverage system. So when we look at a home-based business, there are four important factors to consider. The first is that your product is unique and consumable, so that when people order it, they consume it and they order it again. The second piece is that you have a huge expanding market in terms of demand for your product. The third component is that you have a high barrier to entry, and we'll talk about what that is in a second, and then that you have a leveraged component. So the first thing, unique and consumable, you need to make sure the products are proprietary, they can't be copied by somebody else, and that they're consumable, so that just like we talked about, that person makes their initial purchase once based on my efforts, but every time they make a subsequent purchase, I'm rewarded again. So if you imagine, let's say a spatula that every time somebody took it out and used it and then they had to wash it, you got paid, even if it was $5. That would be a residual formula because you have a consumable in some fashion sort of product, but you get where I'm coming from here. The second thing that we mentioned, a huge expanding market, you need to have a marketplace. In business, the biggest success stories in the past 30 years, 50 years, have come from this movement of a group of population called the baby boomers that are moving through, and they account for a third of the population, and they control more than 50% of the money on the planet, of the wealth. So everywhere in business that this group of population goes, they create a massive trend because of the size of the demand and the expanding market. So, for example, they're now moving into a phase of their life where they're starting to experience, different age. The golden years aren't so golden, that kind of thing. And they're looking for solutions to that in terms of their health. It's been said that the health and wellness industry is the next trillion-dollar industry. So that's a huge expanding market. Will there always be families and mothers who need solutions for cooking in the home? Absolutely, I'm sure there will be. Is it expanding? Is it a moving trend that will grow where you can get some momentum? That remains to be seen. So that's something you want to look into. The third thing is barrier to entry. When another company can come in and duplicate your efforts, that's an issue. Okay, so the barrier to entry, for example, for another company to start up and start selling those types of products is whatever it would cost them to manufacture them or to outsource the manufacturing and actually set up distribution. Whereas if you have a product that is unique and consumable or operates at a huge scope, for example, in the natural products industry, there's a company that operates 4 independently owned companies. They're all vertically integrated. It costs millions and millions and millions of dollars to set up, and no other company has that kind of funding. When you spend $100 million on pure research in natural products, on plants, then not a lot of people can do that. But when you have a billionaire owner, that's a nice benefit. So that's the third thing, is that it's very important that you have a high barrier to entry so that people can't jump in and duplicate it. The last thing is the leverage component. You want to be able to benefit from the efforts of the people that you've helped to train. Okay, this isn't about making money off the sweat of other people. This is about being credited for taking the time to train them to be successful. So that has to be a component in there, and to an extent, Pampered Chef has that for sure. There are limitations to the extension of their pay plan, how many associates you go deep, and and there are limits on percentages and whatnot. What you may want to find is a business that has an infinite potential, both in width and depth. But success in this type of business will ultimately come down to how do you find a high number of qualified prospects to look at being your business partner. And I've developed a quick little formula for having over 100 leads per month coming to me asking me about my business. And I've developed a formula for how to convert those people who are a good fit into joining me in business and teaching them to do the same. So we're having a blast. If that's a value to you, come and check it out. We're teaching it for free. Come and see what we're doing. And take care for now. I wish you all the best on your journey doing your due diligence here. Maybe we'll see you again. Take care.